to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
Teyana Taylor just broke the internet by releasing something no one saw coming. A private voice recording of Iman Shumpert, crying and apologizing at 2 a.m. The audio wasn't posted with any warning, no caption, no explanation, just raw emotion hitting fans like a wave in the middle of the night. In the clip, Iman's voice cracks as he pleads for forgiveness, saying he can't sleep knowing she hates him. For a couple already surrounded by breakup rumors and drama, this unexpected leak is turning everything upside down. People are wondering, why now? Why expose something so intimate and emotional when the dust was finally starting to settle? Was it a cry for attention, revenge, or something deeper? Whatever the motive, the internet is in full meltdown mode trying to make sense of it all. One thing is clear, this wasn't just a leak, it was a bombshell. The recording itself surfaced on Teyana's Instagram story and stayed up just long enough for fans to hit that record button before she deleted it. But the damage was already done. The audio features Iman's shaky voice saying things like, "I never meant to hurt you," and "I miss my family." The vulnerability in his tone is a far cry from the composed, confident Iman fans usually see on TV or social media. You can actually hear the pain in his voice. This wasn't scripted or rehearsed. It felt like a man at his emotional limit, reaching out in the only way he knew how. Listeners couldn't believe what they were hearing. Within minutes, the clip spread like wildfire across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. People started connecting dots, trying to figure out what led to this moment of desperation. Something major must have happened for Iman to break like that. Now the big question, why did Teyana leak this in the first place? Some believe it was strategic, a calculated move to remind the public that Iman isn't as cold or distant as he makes himself out to be. Maybe she wanted to show that he still loves her, or at least deeply regrets losing her. Others think the decision was impulsive, fueled by heartbreak, frustration, or maybe just a sleepless night. A few are calling it emotional warfare, a power move to reclaim control of the narrative after months of public silence. Still, some fans are defending her, saying maybe this was the only way she felt seen. The fact that the clip had no caption makes it all feel even more personal, more raw, as if we were listening to something we were never meant to hear. But maybe that's exactly what she wanted. The audio reveals some serious truths about their relationship. Truths fans never saw behind the Instagram perfect photos and red carpet moments. Iman confesses to messing up, saying his ego got in the way and that he threw away something perfect. It's the kind of honesty we rarely hear from celebrity couples. For years, they've kept their struggles mostly private, but this leak rips the curtain wide open. Iman's usual image of being emotionally detached and cool under pressure is shattered in seconds. The way he talks about missing his family suggests that he still holds on to hope that might not be shared by Teyana anymore. The conversation paints a picture of two people who loved deeply, but also hurt each other beyond repair. And now the world is watching it all unfold. So far, Iman hasn't spoken out publicly, but according to insiders, he was completely blindsided by the leak. Sources say he immediately texted Teyana, asking why she would share something so private when they were supposedly working toward peace. The betrayal hit hard, not just because of the exposure, but because that recording was from a moment he trusted her with, something raw, real, and never meant to be heard by anyone else. Reports say his legal team is looking into the situation to see if it qualifies as a breach of privacy. But even more than legal consequences, Iman is said to be hurt on a deeply personal level. It's not about being embarrassed. It's about being emotionally violated. And that might be harder to fix than any court case. Reactions from family and friends are just as divided. Teyana's sister added fuel to the fire by posting a cryptic message right after the leak saying, "Truth always finds its way out." Meanwhile, Iman's mother is reportedly furious. She believes Teyana crossed a line and has told her son to stop letting his emotions get tangled up with her again. Some close friends are defending Teyana, saying the leak shows how much she endured emotionally, while others believe it was a low blow that could ruin any chance of peaceful co-parenting. Industry insiders claim this could be the final nail in the coffin, making future communication between the exes even more tense and guarded. The fallout isn't just affecting them, it's rippling through their entire circle. The moment the audio clip surfaced online, the internet went into a frenzy. Fans were instantly divided, taking sides based on what they heard. For many, it was the rawness of Iman's voice that struck a nerve. Hearing him cry, plead, and speak with such unfiltered emotion was unlike anything people had witnessed from him during the public breakup saga. For a man often perceived as calm or emotionally distant, the vulnerability in his voice was jarring. Some listeners admitted they had previously criticized him, even painted him as the villain in the narrative that had unfolded over the past few months. But now, hearing him this way made them pause. The tears, the desperation, it humanized him in a way that no statement or social media post ever could. On the flip side, Teyana's supporters viewed the leak as an act of strength. To them, this wasn't a publicity stunt or an attack. It was a moment of clarity. They felt she was finally lifting the curtain on her own pain, letting the world feel what she had been carrying privately for so long. For these fans, the audio represented years of silence breaking, a scream for acknowledgement. Many described it as brave, even therapeutic. It allowed them to relate to her, to see beyond the glamorous image, and understand the emotional exhaustion she might have been hiding all along. But not everyone was convinced that making the audio public was the right move. There was a growing sentiment online that the situation had crossed a line. Critics argued that something so personal should never be used as public content. Pain, especially the kind that involves tears and begging, shouldn't be a spectacle, they said. The internet, while powerful in rallying support, can also be cruel, and once something is online, it's impossible to take back. A new conversation began taking shape in comment sections, forums, and reaction videos. Was the audio leak a form of emotional manipulation? Or was it an act of justified closure? This debate spiraled into deeper territory, especially with ongoing rumors about the former couple's already rocky co-parenting arrangement. For some observers, the leak signaled the potential for legal consequences. Teyana's legal team might now use the recording to argue that Iman is emotionally unstable, possibly calling into question his ability to maintain consistent visitation or joint custody. In custody cases, emotional outbursts can become powerful pieces of evidence, especially when the welfare of children is at stake. On the other hand, Iman might respond by requesting legal protections to prevent further personal material from leaking. He could claim that his privacy was violated and that the public exposure is harmful not just to him, but also to his children. The fear many share is how this will affect the kids in the long term. It's one thing for two adults to have an emotionally messy breakup, but when that turmoil bleeds into parenting, it becomes dangerous. Children aren't just passive observers, they absorb the energy around them. If they grow up in a climate where both parents are publicly tearing each other apart, the emotional scars could linger for years. Many fans have voiced concern about this, urging both sides to seek healing privately, even if the damage feels too deep to repair the relationship. What's most important, they argue, is to preserve some sense of stability for the children, away from the screens and opinions of millions of strangers. Interestingly, despite all the pain and fallout, some fans are convinced that love still lingers between Teyana and Iman. They point to the timing of the call, the raw emotion in his voice, and the fact that he reached out in the middle of the night. It didn't sound rehearsed or manipulative. It sounded like someone reaching out in the midst of heartbreak. These fans suggest that the release of the audio might not have been about revenge or public shaming, but rather a way for Teyana to show that, despite everything, there's still a thread of emotional connection between them. Perhaps she wanted people to understand that breakups aren't black and white. Maybe she was trying to say, look, he still cares, and so do I, in some way. Then there are those who hear something darker in the clip. For them, this wasn't about love or reconciliation. It was about pain turning into resentment. The Bioma Argument is that the emotional tie between them isn't love anymore. It's trauma. It's the kind of connection that lingers not because it's nurturing, but because it's unresolved. People who support this view believe the clip was posted to make a point, not to seek healing. That the message wasn't "he still loves me," but rather, "this is what I've endured." These interpretations are deeply emotional, often reflective of the listener's own experiences with love, betrayal, or unresolved grief. The public isn't the only group reacting. Celebrities have also joined the conversation, further amplifying the moment. Some simply dropped emojis, prayer hands, broken hearts, shocked faces, while others offered more nuanced takes. One artist commented, "That man is hurting, don't." Laugh at real pain, reminding people that behind the spectacle are real human emotions. The reaction suggests that this situation has struck a chord far beyond just gossip or fandom. It's become a cultural moment, one that forces people to confront how we consume other people's pain. Regardless of whether the leak was planned or spontaneous, one thing is certain: it has left an impact. The internet is watching, analyzing every second of that audio clip, dissecting it for clues, meanings, and hidden intentions. What it reveals about Teyana and Iman's relationship is complex. It shows that love and pain can exist at the same time, that closure isn't always clean, and that when public figures share their most vulnerable moments, the response is never simple. In the end, whether this was an act of strength, spite, grief, or strategy may never be fully known. But what is clear is that it has opened up a conversation, not just about this particular relationship, but about how we all handle heartbreak, exposure, and emotional truth in the age of the internet. What happens next is anyone's guess, but the story is far from over. If public pressure mounts, Iman may be forced to speak out to clear his name, or at least explain his side. If lawyers get involved, this could go beyond just one leaked audio clip. People are already speculating that there may be more recordings, texts, or messages waiting in the wings. The internet has made it nearly impossible for situations like this to fade quietly. Whether they reconcile, go to court, or simply stop all communication, fans are emotionally invested. What started as a breakup has turned into a live-streamed, emotional battle, and the world isn't ready to look away just yet. So now we turn to you. Did Teyana cross a line, or was she finally speaking her truth in the only way she knew how? Should Iman try to forgive her, or protect himself from further heartbreak? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is no longer just a celebrity love story. It's a cautionary tale about trust, pain, and public healing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We'll be following this one closely because something tells us there's still more to come.